October 27th, 2020. It's Tuesday. Y'all probably thinking Tuesday? This must be a new show. Yeah, damn right, it's a new show. Bub, they decided to bring a big dog in, a big player. Now, I ain't talking about me. I'm talking about the new hottest sensation in the DFS UFC prediction game. And that is the big brain himself, DFS by the numbers. What's up, good brother?
What's up? Really looking forward to this new show we'll be doing every week, talking some DraftKings here. Going to break the fights down a little bit, but more so focusing on the DraftKings side. Really looking forward to it here.
Yeah, same here, brother. Same here. So let's see here, right there. Boom, we had a little malfunction, but that's how we do shit. You know what I'm saying? First fight. So before we get into that, just a little breakdown what Brady said, what we're doing here. We're covering DraftKings. We're gonna show you some money lines. We're probably gonna talk what could happen here, what could happen there. I'm gonna give just my brief opinion. The big brain, he'll be doing the breaking down. He'll be the one deep diving. He, watches 5 to 6 fights on each fight card, or like each fight on the fight card. He deep dives into it. So he's the expert on this panel. So I will just give my opinion here and there. So before we deep dive, you are the DraftKings expert. Can you go through people? Because I'm sure we're going to get some people that are going to click on this that are interested in DraftKings. They just don't know who to ask, how to ask, what to ask about DraftKings. Can you tell people kind of what DraftKings is, about the lineups, and then kind of how the scoring system works?
Yeah. So you go in, DraftKings.com. There's also an app. It's really simple. All you do is you build a lineup with 6 fighters. You get half a point for each significant strike. You get 5 points for a takedown, 3 points for an advance, 10 points for a knockdown. You can also look at the round props. Like if you win the first round, you get 90 points. Second round, I believe, is 70 points. And third round is either 45 or 40 points as well. And basically what it is, you're trying to basically hit a 6-leg parlay in a way. If you have all 6 fighters on your lineup win, you're looking really good. And honestly, you can even win at times with 5 out of 6 fighters winning. I'm more of a multiple lineup guy, but I know there's a lot of people that do just like a couple lineups, which is fine as well. And there's different contests for that. Like for me, I do the 150 max. There's a single entry where you're doing one lineup and you're competing against other people that are doing just one lineup. There are double ups that are really popular. It gives you about a 50% chance to double up your money. I like those. And then, but yeah, it's pretty fun. If you like MMA, if you like gambling, I think it's a really cool thing to get into.
Nice. And like I said, I went and got the big dog. Been watching his content for a while, and he's growing fast. He's growing about as fast as I've seen somebody grow organically. So let them know what you got going on outside of here, Brady. What you got going on your YouTube channel, and where can they find you? And this dude is a beast. So just let them know, Brady.
Yeah, Twitter is DFS_numbers. On YouTube, I do post my DraftKings breakdown, which is going to be a little bit less in depth than what we're doing here. I'm going to do my prediction video as always. I do betting stuff. I do a live stream on Friday. That's going to lead into our live stream on Friday as well, and then a betting breakdown on Saturday morning as well.
Touche. Before we deep dive, let's pay some bills. You see it down below, mybookie.ag, code PUBSports. You think deposit up to $100, they match you up to 50%. If you use Bitcoin, they match you up to 100%. So let's start with the first fight on the card. We're going to have Mr. Miles Johns versus Kevin Natividad. So what you know about this, you got a strong lean either way. Let's see here. Boom, guys. We got some graphics. I put these together last night. As you can see on the right side, it's a little crooked, but don't judge me. I was half asleep trying to get this together. So it will be better from here on out. But we got some nice little graphics right here. So, Brady, let us know what you learned about this fight as you did your tape study.
Yeah, the graphics are sweet, man. I'm loving that a lot. But yeah, this is going to be a really good fight. And typically, if you guys know me, I like targeting the first fight of the night for a couple of reasons. It's always really low owned. People don't like to attack that first fight of the night because if you do lose it, you're in danger of your night completely being ruined. So it does make for a lower owned in the ownership. And in this fight in particular, there aren't many underdogs that really intrigue me. I think Kevin Natividad is one of the more live underdogs on the slate, and I actually am picking him to win. And I'll just break down the fight a little bit, but Miles Johns, I think that he's going to try to come out here and go for takedowns. And I say I think because in his last fight against Mario Batista, I was expecting him to go out for takedowns, and I was kind of like yelling at the TV, like, why aren't you going for takedowns? He ended up getting knocked out. So if he does stand and bang with Natividad, I think Natividad's the better striker, more technical. Johns' striking's improving, but he still throws these like looping punches. But ultimately, I think it's going to come down to the ground game. And watching tape on Natividad, I was looking for how's this guy's takedown defense? How's this guy's get-up game? I didn't see him taking down much. I saw him taken down a very few times, and when he was able to stand right back up. I even saw him stand up and take the back of his opponent right away. So I think this fight should be aligned a lot closer, and you're kind of seeing the line come down. Miles Johns opened up like minus 180, something crazy like that. I think he's down a little bit now, so I think the money's coming in on Natividad, and I think it's a good underdog pick. As for Miles Johns, on DraftKings, 8,400, he's very low volume. He maybe can get some takedowns. I don't see him getting much. I like Natividad here at 7,800. Maybe he finds a finish. We did see Johns get knocked out before, but my preferred play is going to be Natividad.
Ooh, coming out with a dog play right off the bat, boys. I was just checking my bookie right here. Miles Johns is coming in at your minus 165 favorite. The comeback on Natividad is plus 135. So he doesn't, not only does he like him on DraftKings, hey, that's a nice dog play coming right out the gate. So let's get on to fight number 2.
Let's get it.
We got Cortney Casey coming in against Brady's favorite fighter, Priscila Cachoeira. Some people like to call this the people's main event, don't they, Brady? Is this your people's main event this week?
I mean, it's got to be here. I mean, Priscila Cachoeira, Priscila Catch-a-Beating is what I like to call her. But, man, I mean, she actually made me some good money in her last fight. She was a underdog against Shanna Dobson. She went out there and knocked out Dobson in like the first minute, like surprised everybody. So I was able to cash a bet on Priscila Cachoeira. And she's honestly, she's not UFC caliber. She gets hit a ton. And I do want to bring up some numbers here. Like she absorbed 7.93 significant strikes per minute, only lands 3.84. So she's getting hit like double what she's throwing out. And Cortney Casey, a lot of people are dogging her for a record of 9-8. She's fought a lot of.
It is a pretty salty record.
It's salty, but if you look at some of the fighters she's losing to, like Jillian Robinson her last time, other girls like that, like she's fighting some solid competition. And I don't know, I really like Casey at 8,700. I think she'll be a little bit lower owned. You know, the women's MMA, nobody likes playing them. I've saw plenty of times where Casey would actually pull guard. She's not really going out there and going for much takedowns. I think she only lands 0.31. But in this case, I think she can maybe take the fight to the ground, maybe pull guard. And once she gets him on the ground, like she's going to have a huge advantage. Priscila Catch-a-Beating was almost submitted by that Luana Carolina girl, which she's awful.
Are you seeing armbar?
I'm seeing it.
Are you calling armbar?
Guard. Yeah.
Triangle, maybe triangle to armbar transition, something like that. Nice little women's MMA masterpiece, what they always like to pull.
Yeah, and also like Cortney Casey, she's finished 7 of her 9 wins in the first round. So she's actually a decent finisher. So I think Catch-a-Beating has a tough fight for her here. If Casey wants to strike with her for 15 minutes, I think she could. I think she can rack up a bunch of volume because Catch-a-Beating does play defense with her face. But either way, I think Cortney Casey at 8,700 is a really good play. I'm going to be pretty high on it.
Yeah, she does block punches with her face.
Yeah.
I just checked. Casey wins by decision or by submission plus 400. Nice. So that's not a bad play. Like Brady says, with women's MMA, you do not see this a lot in men's MMA. It's not that they're more technical. I'll just say it. But in women's MMA, they like to play around in the guard a lot. They like to play around the guard, and you see somebody that's slick. Is Cortney Casey a black belt?
I think she's a brown belt.
Brown belt. That's still high elite. Yeah. She's an elite ninja off her back. I can see her stripping those hips out, snatching up an arm bar, and probably breaking it because Priscilla's not tapping, bro. She's going to be like, take it off. I don't care.
Yeah.
She's walking around one arm. Yeah, I'm going Casey by submission as well. So before we go on to that second one, let's hit this chat up real quick. Debut episode,
Sounds good.
random. We just announced it today, and we got 32 people in here, so we appreciate each and every one of y'all. We got Big Zabble in the building, the number one spot. Neil, the security. What's up, brother? Big Zabble saying Bryce getting his camel shorts. It's funny you say that because what we're going to kind of do on this show is we're going to bring you some graphics. I'm sure Brady in the future, he is elaborate at making spreadsheets or just stuff like that. We can incorporate more stuff like that to where it's not just your basic show. But I saw this. I knew somebody would say something. And y'all know my boy Thug Nasty is from like 20 minutes up the street. I've never rolled with him on the mats, but I've been in the gym with him while he was rolling hard on the mats while I was doing some boxing stuff off to the side. So you already know who I'm going with as far as on that fight, but we got Thug Nasty in the building, coming out, talking about he wanted his camo shorts, and he got him. The only fighter in the UFC with custom trunks. Hey, am I right when I say that, Brady? Can you think of anybody else with custom trunks?
No, I mean, I think that maybe the only one here. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty random for
Yeah.
a guy 20 minutes up the street in bumfuck Cabot, Cersei area, is the only person in the UFC with custom trunks. Shout out to Thug Nasty. And hopefully someday we can do some content together. What do y'all think about mowing the wild? I know that I've brought that up before, but maybe mowing the wild, me and Thug Nasty out there wading in some waders. I ain't never cleaned a deer. Whatever. Let's roll. You know what I'm saying? But next up on the fight card, let's see who we got up next. We got Dustin Jacoby versus Justin Ledet. What you think about this one, Brady?
Yeah, I'm not overly interested in this fight. I do think Dustin Jacoby wins. We saw him fight on the Contender Series a couple months ago. He looked really good. He did slow down that fight. I thought he could have got a finish like 5 different times, but the ref just wouldn't stop it. And he actually landed 117 significant strikes. I do think he's the better fighter. He has that kickboxing background. We actually saw him in the UFC before as well. I think he fought in the UFC in like 2011 or 2012. And I think he only had 2 fights as well. So if you go on, DraftKings and you look at the scores on DraftKings, like the stat log, you'll see him. He scored like very low in those fights. I think people are going to look at that and think he's some type of bum, but I think he's pretty solid. I think he's going to have the advantage on the feet here. I don't really see the fight touching the mat. And he showed some really good volume. The only thing I'm worried about is him potentially slowing down late in the fight if he does not get Ledet out of there. But at 8,900, I think there's some volume upside. I think there's some finish upside. We did see Ledet get knocked out by Johnny Walker. I think it was like a spinning back fist, which was awesome. But yeah, Jacoby's a beast. As for Ledet at 7,300, pretty low volume. Not much power. I'm probably going to not play much of Ledet. I think the preferred play is Dustin Jacoby there.
Yeah, if you just look at Ledet's record 9-3, you're thinking not too salty, but man, my man's a boxer, doesn't really sway from that. Like you nailed it. Jacoby looks like a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Just tough nose. I haven't done a lot of tape study this week. All of what I'm talking about is just me. What I remember watching. I used to watch a whole bunch of tape, so watched a lot of tape on a lot of these fighters, and he's just a tough nosed dude. And even though 12-5, couple more losses, I just think he is gonna. Do you think he's gonna finish Ledet here, or do you think this could be a 30-27 decision?
I think he could, but I don't know if he doesn't. It could get a little dicey because I don't know that gas tank for Jacoby is a little bit suspect. Also, kind of worried about maybe if Ledet would try to get this to the ground. I think he could have an advantage there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think the line is a little bit off, but I do have Jacoby to get it done.
Nice. Yeah, Jacoby's the pick, the play, but yeah. So let's get on to this next one. Let's see. We got Touch in the building. He says Silva wins decision. We'll touch on that, Mr. Touch. Appreciate you boys for dropping in. Send location. Justin Jr. 962. Yeah, guys, he's a 13-year-old young man, hot in the biz. Check him out. Has a nice YouTube channel. Has a nice Instagram. Does interviews. Has more fighter interviews than the only person that has more than him out there is James Lynch and Ariel Helwani. You know what I'm saying? Justin Jr. gets everybody. Shout out to Justin Jr., man. Mystic Sosa, big supporter. Arkansas in the building. That's right, baby. That's right. Let me check, make sure he's not talking about Mr. Arkansas. Speaking of Mr. Arkansas, shout out to Mr. Arkansas. If you haven't checked him out or you haven't checked him out lately, he's going hard. Just came off of like a 57-hour stream or some crazy something like that. Definitely the stream king in the building. Most entertaining man on YouTube. Great show. Goes live a lot at night. Check him out. Put Mr. Arkansas in your YouTube browser and go give him a subscribe. Super entertaining guy. Yep, Touch right there with you. Not going to bring that up, but I'm right there with you, brother. Fun fact, Jacoby was on the same glory card as Stylebender in Denver 2016. Brian, you just dropped what we like to call a fact bomb, buddy. Appreciate you for dropping this. We got Boston Nick MMA. What's up, brother? He is on Razors right now. If you want to support the ponies, open another side browser and open that tab up. Wham, bam, boom. Go over there, support the ponies. You can catch Boston Nick in a nice cutoff T-shirt. You think he's trying to be like Poppy Brady?
I think he might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna start calling him Powder because my man is white as snow. But yeah, danger. So we got Billy Briz in the building. So hoping maybe Billy Briz at some point come on here with us. He's a big DFS guy too. He has an NFL DFS show on Friday night. So y'all check that out. And no problem, Justin. So let's see. Next up on the fight card, we got Jason Witt coming in 17-6, talking about salty records versus Cole Williams, 11-2. I have a feeling that record isn't scaring you off, Witt, is it, Brady?
No, I like Witt here, and this is a really weird fight. Two guys that really probably shouldn't be in the UFC. Watching tape on Williams, my goodness, I don't know why they're letting this guy fight in the UFC here. He's 36 years old. He did have that fight against Claudio Silva in his UFC debut, and he just looked really bad. He looked like he was getting outstruck by Claudio Silva. Silva was able to take him down very easily, and then Silva tapped him out fairly easy as well. And as for Jason Witt, I think he's decent. I think he has really good wrestling. I think that's definitely where he could take advantage here. It's just the chin of Jason Witt is very questionable. And this is a fight I actually really do want to target. I don't think this fight's going to be very high owned at all. People are going to look at both of them scoring 1 point in both of their fights and probably, shy away a little bit. And people probably don't know much about these guys, but I think Witt has a very nice path to victory of getting takedowns. I don't think Williams has great takedown defense. And Witt actually has a pretty solid ground game as well. He's able to take the back really well also. He has finished 41% of his fights by submission. And as long as Witt doesn't get knocked out, I think he'll win the fight. But that's kind of saying a lot because he's been knocked out 4 times. He's been submitted twice. So kind of durability issues there. But 8,300 for Witt. He has that takedown upside, which is worth 5 apiece. Some advanced upside. And I think he can honestly finish this fight as well. And Cole Williams, if he does win, it's probably by a knockout. I don't see him winning a decision. I'd be fairly surprised if he did that. And if he does touch the chin of Witt, I think he can get a knockout at low ownership, 7,900. And also something I do want to mention is both of these guys combined, they have never lost by decision. So I had kind of a feeling someone's going to get finished here at low ownership. This is going to be a fight I'm probably double the field on.
So maybe, possibly, if you were to make a personal bet on this, would you bet this to finish inside the distance?
Yeah, I already have, actually.
Oh, I know this son of a bitch right here. I'm starting to learn his ways, boys.
Yeah.
So I haven't done any tape study on this, just going off the top of the brain. I kind of think it's going the same way. I think Witt's going to pressure, maybe get some takedowns. Cole Williams is not that great. I think Witt is the play here. Do you see him getting some takedowns in this matchup?
Takedowns and honestly a possible submission. I mean, Claudio Silva, I know Claudio Silva's a beast on the mat, but he made it look easy.
So I know that we're talking a little bit different. We're going to talk some money line and stuff, and just because I can't help myself, I just love it. But what I do want to touch on, this is a DraftKings show, so let's talk about optimization. You know what I'm saying? The optimal lineup. Is somebody like Witt going to be on the optimal lineup with those takedowns, with that submission? Get a couple takedowns first round. Let's say he gets 2 or 3 takedowns, some ground and pound comes out early second round submission. Is he going to score well? Is he one of your core plays this week?
I wouldn't say core play, but I think it's like kind of up there in my ownership. And yeah, if he gets takedowns and multiple advances, which are worth 3 apiece, and a possible submission upside as well, and at the low ownership, I mean, it definitely has optimal lineup written all over it. And on this fight card, you'll notice like there aren't many fights that are projected to end inside the distance. I think we'll see some very low scores this week, and this could be kind of like one of those fights that score decent, and it's decent enough to get on the optimal lineup, especially at their prices right in that mid range. So yeah, Witt at 8,300 is something you're looking at, and honestly, Cole Williams as well, because if Cole Williams does win, I don't think he's great, but it'd probably be a knockout win.
Nice, very nice. So, both sides of the bracket here are DraftKings material. There you go. So we got 42 people in here. We want to thank each and every one of y'all for showing up on this Tuesday night. Like I saw, I think it was maybe Zabel said, double dose of Brady on Tuesday nights and Friday nights now. You catch him on his channel, DFS by the Numbers. What time does your DraftKings video drop on Tuesday, Brady? Do you have a specific time you drop it or just whenever you get it done?
On the Tuesday, whenever I get it done, really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but then it's going to be a roundabout before here every single Tuesday. You catch them right here, 9 p.m. Eastern. And what about Friday? What time are you going to drop your show on Fridays? Does it come on at 7 p.m. your time?
Yep, 7 p.m. Eastern time is my live stream, and we're gonna, take that and then bring the party over to Pub Sport.
Ooh, party! Hey, I'm old, but I'll still dance on them. You know what I'm saying? I keep the cap lock on, as the young folks say. So just like Brady said, you can catch us talking hands. You see it right there. Boom! Welcome, talking hands. That's right. That's PSR's kind of flagship MMA. What we got going. Our panel goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. And we're going to have a panel, going to switch it up some each week, but we're going to have me, Brady, Slaughter, Preston, probably Billy Briz, maybe Zoe. Who knows who we're going to have on, when we're going to have them on. We might have a fighter jump in. You never know. Millie Mills, shout out to Millie Mills. His show comes out on Wednesdays, I think, at 9 p.m. Eastern. I believe, double check on that, but I think it's 9 p.m. Eastern. He has a nice variety type MMA show to where he breaks down the up-and-coming card, but also gives you that UFC and Bellator news. So shout out to all them. We got Razor on Tuesday and Thursday on the Pony. Shout out to Razor. I'm just trying not to leave anybody out, Brady. You know what I'm saying? I'm a team player. We got Ian Cameron. We got Connor Mack in the building. Love me some Connor Mack. They go live at, I think, 11 a.m. on Saturdays for college football. Give you those college football plays to put that money in your pocket. So 48 people. If one more thing, hit that like button. That's how YouTube knows you enjoy what we got going here. And by that like button, there's a little share button as well. If you can share that link to any of your social media accounts out there, let's get this party going and let people know that we're going to be here Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night at this time. So next fight on the card, we have Sean Strickland coming in facing Jack Marshman. What you think about this one, Brady?
Yeah, I think Sean Strickland's the better fighter here. I saw that he was in like a motorcycle accident, I believe, a couple of years ago. So he's taken a long layoff. I think about a 2-year layoff, actually. And I was stalking his Instagram a little bit. He looks in very, very, very good shape. So I'm not overly concerned. Marshman is someone who I'm not overly impressed about. I mean, he averages about 2.64 significant strikes per minute, very, very low output, 28% accuracy. He throws with some power, but Strickland, doubles his output, 4.34 significant strikes landed per minute. And I think this is going to come down to, I think Strickland can beat him on the feet. I think he can take it to the mat as well. Marshman has a 20% takedown defense. I think if Strickland wanted to, just go for the takedown. I think it'll be there. I think it'll be easy, but Strickland can probably outbox this guy on the feet. I do think he's the much better fighter. And outside of Strickland getting caught by something, I think he wins it. As for the 9,100, there's another play I like a lot better in that range. I'm probably not going to have much Strickland, but I do think maybe he can knock out Marshman. Marshman has been knocked out 4 times in his career. So a little bit on the chinny side there. So I have a little bit of Strickland, but there is a play I like a lot better who we'll talk about soon. As for Marshman, if you want to look at a pump play, a puncher's chance, he has finished about 80% of his wins, but I don't think he's I think he's the much less, better fighter in this fight.
He's coming in a real chalky minus 320 on my bookie. Marshman, the comeback on Marshman is plus 260. I think Marshman is the type of fighter that we saw in 2004. You know what I'm saying? He comes in, big wild shots, big looping shots, decent boxing, but decent boxing is not getting anywhere in the UFC these days. I think Strickland has the clear grappling advantage. It's just, will he go to it? He can get some nice body, double under body lock trips. He's not really a, change levels, blast double type. He's more of a kind of a tricky, foot sweep, something like that. But I kind of see him playing in Marshman's game, boxing, but he's long, lanky. He's more of a jabs and straights kind of guy, maybe in with the hook, something like that. More volume. I see him just beating Marshman up. Can he get the finish? Yeah, but I think maybe Marshman might be tough enough to go all three, but it's going to be like a 30-27 butt whooping with Marshman's face all cut up. So I think the play is Strickland here too. I just don't think that. What is he on DraftKings?
9,100.
Oh no, he's not. He ain't paying that off. Yeah. So as I say that, I just also want everybody to know we're not going to be touching on these kind of things every single week, but I know there's going to be some people watching this that don't know the rules and really kind of how DraftKings works. There's a rhyme and a reason for things. So there's just Brady just said his salary. I said, he's not going to pay that off. So just so y'all know what that means, I'll let Brady get how he does it, and then I'll say how I'll do it because it's probably the same. But so how do you justify playing somebody at 9,100? What do you look for? What's a bare minimum number that you would like to see them score to justify that 9,100?
Yeah, if you're going to play someone in the 9,000s, they're definitely up there. You're looking for somebody that's going to go out there and get the finish, or someone that's going to go out there and throw tons of volume, whether that's takedowns, advances, or just throw a ton of significant strikes. And I think Sean Strickland can go out there and get maybe a couple takedowns, maybe a decent amount of significant strikes, but at 9,100, it's going to be hard to pay that off.
So if you just had to throw a random number that you think that he could score in this matchup, what would you say, 70 or 80, something like that if he wins?
I'd say 85, 90 maybe.
Okay, cool. See, how I justify it is if it's 9,100, I want them to at least get me 91 points.
Yeah.
That's how I get it. 8,500, can they get me 85 points or above? Now we're talking. But if it's somebody that is a real low volume fighter, they're not really going to mess around, but they're still a big favorite for some reason, it's a total fade because they're not going to meet that bare minimum requirement. Is that kind of how you think of it as well?
Yeah, like you said, 8,500, you want him to get at least 85 to hit value. You'd like to go above that, but you'd want him to at least get value.
Yeah. And another thing we'll touch on after a couple more fights here, just so y'all know, there's a couple different types of games that you can play in DraftKings. There's a cash game and there's GPPs, to where one is you're beating half the field and the other you're playing for that number one spot. So I don't know really which one Brady learned or prefers to play. We'll touch on that after we roll through a couple more of these fights. So next up, we got Adrian Yanez coming in 11-3 versus Victor Rodriguez 7-2. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, this is my favorite play on the slate here in Adrian Yanez. And first thing I did was watch tape on Victor Rodriguez, and this guy, they're just bringing him in to get Yanez a win here. Coming out of that Alaska fight, absolutely nobody. It was 3 fights ago. He was at this it was a weird tournament on Facebook Live, and there was wrestling matches, boxing matches, MMA matches. He was the main event, and just everybody's fought was not MMA caliber at all. I mean, these guys look like amateurs. And as for him, I mean, he's all right. He has decent takedowns. He's not going to take down Yanez. His striking is very bad. He throws these big looping punches, not technical at all. And Yanez, watching tape on him, I was very, very impressed. Very technical. He picks his shots very well, very accurate, throws a ton of volume and throws with power. When this guy lands, He lands hard. So 9,200, I think he's going to put it on Rodriguez. And I'd be surprised if he didn't finish Rodriguez here. So Yanez, I'm going to have a ton. He's probably going to be my highest owned fighter personally. And as for Rodriguez at 7,000, I just don't think he's UFC caliber at all.
Yeah, so if some of you people like Touch and everybody that are out there that do play DraftKings, I know I was looking, they might have updated it, but as of like an hour ago when I was making these graphics, they did not have that fight on DraftKings. So, but you do anticipate him being at, you said 9,200?
Yeah, the 9,200 slots open, and so is the 7,000. I'm anticipating
Okay.
that they slide him in there. I don't think they'd put him up at 9,400, but if they did, I'd still play him anyway.
Yeah, so you think he's going to come out hot and fast first round finish?
I think either first or second round, yeah. He's going to put it on him.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Next up, we got Chris Gruetzemacher. That's a name for you. The comeback on him on my bookie is plus 295 versus Alex Hernandez, the minus 370 chalky favorite. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, I like this more as a parlay piece. As for DraftKings, I'm probably not going to go there much with Hernandez. I do like him to win. I like him to, be better be better pretty much everywhere. Get takedowns, stay safe on the mat, stay out of trouble, maybe even find a submission, but ultimately just grind out a decision victory. I just don't see him paying off the 9,300. He typically hasn't been a great DraftKings scorer as well. So, like I said, I have him in a parlay. On DraftKings, I'm going to stay away from this fight in general. Going to have very, very little ownership on this fight for myself.
Okay, very nice. I'm gonna take your word on that one, brother. Let's go to this chat real quick. We got 50 people in here. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. If we got anybody new in here watching, hey, we do this all the time. We damn near go live every single night of the week on Pub. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. We're bringing you new content. We got great content now. This past Saturday, we did the Khabib fight, UFC 254. Is that correct, Brady?
Yep.
Because they all blend together to me. But we got 20,000 views on that bad boy. So salute to each and every one of y'all that showed up, showed out, shared the link. We were clowning. It was a great stream. All of us had a bet at one point that we were all going to have to do something ridiculous. Like Nick was going to have to put a notch in his eyebrow. Slaughter was going to shave his head. I was going to have to. I don't even remember what the fuck I was. It was going to be bad. But it went the way it was supposed to go. So we're all normal looking. But that's the kind of stuff that you can catch on there, and because you never know what's going to happen. So make sure you're tuned in. But Preston wants to know, guys, who shouldn't be in the UFC that's already in the UFC? What's new with Dana White? You got to love him on Dana White. But can you think of anybody just off the top of your head that's in the UFC that should get the X out of the UFC, Brady?
A couple on this car. I mean, Priscila catch a beating.
But, dude, she's such easy money, though, Brady.
Yeah, I know.
She's such an easy fade, Brady. She's such an easy. Let's think of somebody boring. At least she brings the heat, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's exciting.
She's a fucking people's main event. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Damn it. All right. Yeah, no, we'll take it with 1P and get back at you. Then we'll also want to show Justin Jr. some love. So what profile picture of his is better, Jack Johnson or Sonny Liston? I'm going to go with Sonny Liston right there. That's a pretty badass Justin. So I can't believe I just said ass to a 13-year-old, but he's probably heard worse. So
yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, no, Shuey. We had Nick do his Shuey. You want to check that out? I think Brady's going to have to do a Shuey on some bet. I don't know. We'll come up with something. You know what I'm saying?
Nick did a shoot.
Yeah, you didn't see it?
No.
Yeah, bro. Oh yeah, you got to go back and check that out because this some bitch didn't take his nice Nike off his foot and fill it up. He wouldn't found the most vile, disgusting hiking work boot that had roofing tar on it and poured it in it and did it. I mean, he did it like a man. I mean,
there you go.
He had to take some antibiotics afterwards, and he probably has tuberculosis and COVID. But he's still with us.
Yeah, that's good.
He's rocking. But yeah, no, check that out. Shout out to Nikki. Next up on the fight card, we got Mean Bobby Greene coming in. The King Bobby Greene versus Thiago Moises. What you think about this fight, Brady?
Yeah, Bobby Greene at 9,000, Thiago Moises 7,200. I like Bobby Greene to win the fight. It's just hard to trust a guy like Bobby Greene. His last fight, he went out there with Alan Patrick. He was actually taking him down a bunch of times. Patrick is a black belt. Moises is a black belt as well. I think he's a much better grappler than a guy like Alan Patrick. I don't suggest that Bobby Greene comes out here and takes Moises down. I think he'd only be playing with trouble there. And Moises' path to victory is pretty simple here. Is this fight needs to touch the ground. If it does not touch the ground, Bobby Greene's going to destroy him on the feet. I don't think Moises has the wrestling to take him down, although Bobby Greene has been taken down in 6 of his last 7 fights, which is interesting. But Thiago Moises does average a takedown per 50 minutes, only a 28% accuracy. And you never know, maybe Bobby Greene comes out here and takes Moises down for some reason. If he does that, that's giving Moises a path to victory. I'm not all that interested in Bobby Greene at 9,000, although he does have some solid volume. He's not really a finisher. I don't think he's had a finish since like 2012, something crazy like that. And at 9,000, usually he's been scoring well lately, and that's because he's going for takedowns, getting advances. I don't see that happening in this fight, so probably going to have very little Bobby Greene. I think it mostly stays striking. Maybe he lands 100 significant strikes, gets the win. That's like 80 points. As for Moises, I'll have a little bit because I think if this does touch the ground, he is live for a submission, very good on the mat. And Bobby Greene actually has been submitted, I think, once or twice in his career. Although it's been a while, he's still been submitted. So I'm going to have a little bit more Moises, but not really interested in this fight as a whole.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I see on DraftKings this could be a very low scoring unless Greene comes out, does something stupid like changes levels, which he never really does, and takes Thiago down. Thiago gets on the ground, there's a good chance he could sub him. But as long as Bobby Greene does what Bobby Greene does, which he has decent takedown defense, if he's not like chain grappled, if somebody keeps going, they can get him down. But that first initial shot, he has pretty strong hips. But I like what Mr. Mills is talking about right here. As far as Greene by decision, minus 125, bet your beers. So that's a segment that Millie Mills does. Check him out on Wednesday's show. He'll talk more about that, but I will probably be betting that as well because I probably see it going down that way. Yeah. But as far as DraftKings, it's a full fade for me as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we'll take a little time real quick to talk about what we had brought up about cash game GPP. Brady, can you explain the difference between the two and which of the two do you prefer to play?
Yeah, so the GPP or the tournaments, you got the 20 max, you got the 150 max that I like doing a lot. So each week I'll do the 150 max, and then I'll also do the cash, which is the double ups. So you have about a 50% chance of winning those and doubling up your money. Or cash games also head to heads as well, which I don't really play head to heads, but I think it'd be fun to do so. But I usually do like probably 80% GPP tournaments and then like 20% cash. I try to balance it out a little bit. I know people that go 100% in cash, and I know guys that go like 100% in tournaments. I kind of like to balance it out and get that nice mix of cash in tournaments there.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, I'm more of a kind of just risk it to get the biscuit. You know what I'm saying? As far as the GPP, throw me a couple GPP tourney plays out there and just let it ride. I've taken down a couple. You've probably taken down a lot more than me. So, but it's a super fun game to play. Speaking of fun games to play, Whoop Spreads. If you don't know what I'm talking about, download it on your Apple iOS, your Apple Store, your Google Play Store, whatever Google Play Store you got. But what it is, guys, it's a game that we can all play. We got a pub sports competition. If you bet NFL, if you like NFL, what it is, it's basically like you get $2,000 worth of money, right? And you're going to bet it just like you're going to bet throughout the week. But it keeps, with the competition, it keeps score. It keeps everybody's profit. And then whoever got that number one spot, which I think was Spencer this week, shout out to Spencer, took that number one spot. He gets some free pub merch. So if you check the description, there's a link right there. Sign up to Wolf Spreads. That link will take you right into the pub sports competition. Play with us. We get, play with us. I didn't like that, how that rolled off the tongue. But you can play the money line, the points, the totals. It's a fun game. So wham, bam, boom. Shout out to the chat. I see y'all. So let's get on to this next fight. Next one, we got a banger right here, boys. We got Greg Hardy coming in 6-2 versus Maurice. I got a lazy eye Greene coming in 9-4. What you think about this fight, Brady?
Yeah, so really intrigued with the price on Greg Hardy at 8,800. Usually we see him priced up in those 9,000s, except when he fought Juan Adams and got that first round finish. But yeah, I do like that price for Greg Hardy because he has a lot of upside. He has finished 83% of his wins by knockout. So he does have a lot of power. And Maurice Greene is pretty chinny. We saw him rock his last fight against Jean Vellante. Ended up getting that weird submission when he was on bottom, which is pretty funny. And then other than that, he was knocked out by Pavlovich a couple fights ago as well. And the thing that concerns me about Greg Hardy is it seems like he's just content to stay on the outside, win a point fight, and kind of make it boring and win a decision. And that's not something you want in DraftKings. But I think if he really wants to, he can go out here and finish Maurice Greene. And just watching tape for Greene, I kind of look to see if like he goes out there and really presses the action. And he does. He goes out there, he tries to kick his opponents, and he does leave a lot of openings. He leaves his head right on the center line, and I think he's going to get countered by Hardy. I think Hardy probably puts him out. I was looking for Hardy by decision, but with the smaller cage, I do think they're going to be forced. The action's going to be forced a little bit more than usual. And I think Hardy's going to catch him at some point. But I don't know. I'm going to have a decent amount because I think there's a lot of upside, but there is that concern of it being one of those boring, sloppy heavyweight fights.
Yeah, that kind of was. Well, that's kind of exactly what I'm thinking. Is everybody thinks that Hardy's this monster until they see him fight again, and then he's trying to be out technical, throwing jabs out there, working on his footwork when he should just come out and be a monster. Then you got Maurice Greene. About the only thing that Maurice Greene does right is he has a decent guard game. If he's on his back, he can throw up some subs, real long, lanky legs, decent jiu-jitsu, but with his long and like where his length and everything comes in, like he should be keeping people at the end of his jabs, kind of how Volkov fights. Anybody that is long and lanky needs to keep people at the end of their jabs, not let them get inside their range. And he just doesn't have good fight IQ. So, but neither does Greg Hardy. But I'm going to lean for Greg Hardy. He's a little bit smarter than Maurice Greene. So the play for me here is Greg Hardy. But I don't know. What'd you say he was on DraftKings?
8,800.
Oh, well, yeah, 8,800. I see it going to decision. I see it being one of them pity pat heavyweight fights. So.
Yeah. I think Greene could have an advantage if it hit the mat, but
very much
have a takedown in the UFC, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, very true, very true. All right, let's get on to this next one, brother. Let's get on. We got Makhmud Muradov, 24-6, facing Kevin Holland, 19-5. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, I really like Holland in this fight, and I thought Muradov might be a live dog, and maybe he is. Muradov was really impressive, but that's against lower level competition. This is going to be his toughest task to date here. And what I like about Holland is he's very durable. He's never been knocked out in 24 fights. He's never been knocked out. Very good chin. 81-inch reach. He's going to have a 5.5-inch reach advantage. Very high output as well. And I know this doesn't matter, but the last time Holland was at 8,200. He went out there and got a first-round knockout on Hernandez and broke the slate at pretty low ownership. And I don't think he's really going to do that, but I do think he has a lot of upside. I think if there is a finish, it's going to come from the Holland side. I think he has more paths to victory. I think if he wants to, maybe go for takedowns here. If he does, Muradov has been submitted twice. Holland is a black belt in BJJ. It's just Holland averages about a takedown per 15 minutes. 36% accuracy. You'd like him to get a little bit more than that, but I do think if this hits the mat, he's probably going to get a sub. So it'd be smart to get it there, but he's most likely going to strike with Muradov. And even then, I think it's going to be close. I just think Holland's going to land more, and I think he can honestly possibly get a finish here. Muradov has been knocked out as well.
Ooh, very nice. Like I said, I haven't done a lot of tape study on Muradov. I remember looking at some tape on his last fight. Don't really remember, so I'm going to take your opinion on this one right now. I'm going to follow you on this lead, big dog. I know how Holland fights. I'm not just super impressed on his fight IQ. He seems to kind of find himself in the wrong situations, but he's been looking like a stud lately. And he's fast, those nice combos, sick jiu-jitsu. So from what I've seen right now, I'm following big dog, big brain Brady on this one. So You did say you like him on DraftKings. This is one of your more solid plays.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Basically because I think the line should be a little bit wider here, and it's like last time we've been seeing Holland at like in the 9,000s lately. So at 8,200, I think if he wins, it's pretty good chance of ending up on the optimal lineup. Like Robert Whittaker last week in that 8,200, 8,000 matchup, he only scored 83 points and he was optimal. I think Holland can easily hit that 80, 82 mark that we're looking for, hit value there, and possibly even more than that.
Very nice. Yeah, nice. Little look. Oh, we got a banger right here, boys. I'm not going to give my opinion because hometown boy for you, boys. You know where I'm going. We got Bryce Mitchell, Thug Nasty, 13-0, and on the graphic it said 13-1 on the UFC. I guess they counted that one tough. Where did that one come from? If I saw that, Brad, did he lost on tough on not what was that show called? The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where that one came from because he hasn't lost in the octagon, right?
No.
Yeah, okay.
And then
got,
competed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bryce Mitchell, 13-0 coming in, facing Andre Fili, 21-7. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, I gotta watch what I say because this guy.
Guys.
What it comes down to here is your typical striker versus grappler matchup. Bryce Mitchell's grappling is out of this world. And I don't know, watching tape on Fili, I was looking for his takedown defense and how was it? It looks pretty solid to me. He hasn't been taken down in a while. His defensive wrestling actually looks really good. His offensive wrestling is something that really stuck out to me. Obviously, he should not be using that here in this matchup, but listening to an interview with Andre Fili, he actually said that he was going to go out there and test his grappling against Bryce Mitchell. And I mean, if he does that, he's probably going to get
please,
because like
bring your ass over.
Yeah.
Here.
If he does that, he's probably going to get submitted. Like Bryce Mitchell is a wizard on the mat. Extremely impressive what he did to Rosa his last fight. Dominated from as soon as the fight started till the very end. Fili, his grappling's okay, but still, you're just asking for trouble. On the mat with Bryce Mitchell there. So Bryce Mitchell's wrestling, I'm honestly not too impressed. It's okay, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take down Fili. Maybe he's able to catch a kick or something, get him down. But if this stays on the feet, it's going to be Andre Fili all day. I just have that weird suspicion. Throughout the 50 minutes, it will touch the mat, and when it does, it's going to be Bryce Mitchell all day. Really tough to pick a winner here, but I do know I want to play this on DraftKings because I do know whoever's going to implement their game plan is going to score very well, whether it's Bryce Mitchell on the ground, maybe finding a submission, maybe racking up takedowns, advances, or maybe even Andre Fili rocking up a ton of significant strikes, maybe finding a knockout. So I'm going to play both sides here. I don't have a strong lean either way, but hope for Bryce Mitchell to get it done for you.
Yeah, no, I got a strong lean, bro. I got a lean for you.
Who do you got?
He's going to be fighting fucking twisters off for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what's about to happen. Because if he's going to entertain, Fili's seen somebody like, oh, I'm big and bad. Oh, you think you're a good grappler? Oh, I'm about to show you. Oh, and then, yeah, please do that. He's just going to be fighting off. I guarantee. Hey, what's the over-under? Probably 2.5.
Yeah.
Probably 2.5 attempted twisters. Because it's coming. Fight it off, Andre. You punk. Well, I used to like Fili, but not right now. Fuck you, touchy Fili. We got 51 people in here. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking with us. Hit that like button if you don't mind. If you need a book to bet on, check my bookie out, mybookie.ag. Use code PUBSports. So, real cool, we got Steve Sparks in here. First things first, appreciate you for rocking with us, Steve Sparks. He has a question for you, DFS. He says he is DFS clueless. This is what I was talking about. We're probably going to have some new people popping in, not knowing. We're going to get them hooked. He wants to know optimal lineup. Is that the best possible? Can you kind of explain to them what the optimal lineup means, Brady?
Yeah, basically that. It's the best lineup possible.
The best possible lineup.
Yep.
There you go, Steve Sparks. So let's see. We got Geraldo in the building. Appreciate you rocking with us. We got Aldo. We got Big P. Only worry is Holland seems too easy because he's a lot of people know Holland. He likes to talk and he likes to be heard, and people like that. Shout out to Big P. coming through. He got a haircut the other day. I'm sure he's going to be coming on Friday, Saturday, whenever he's coming back looking so fresh and clean. I can't wait to see it. So let's see. We're going to go. Great to see Mo and DFS back together. I agree, brother. Yep. Tag team back again. Check it to the left and let's begin. Brady don't know about that song. That song came out before he was alive. So, but I forgot the odds on the last couple fights on my bookie, but we're definitely going to let you know on that last one, which it's not up on my bookie right now. Do you think something happened or
I don't know.
There it is at the bottom.
Okay.
Mitchell is a minus 165 and the comeback on Fili is plus 135. So if you like Fili there, you get him at dog money. So I will be placing a bet on Bryce. I don't know if it's going to be money line. I don't know if it's going to be by sub. It might be by both because that some bitch is going to win. You know what I mean? So main event time, Brady. Main event. First off, 2020 Anderson Silva in a 5-round main event. I'm glad it's on a 3-round main event. I hate it when they do that. Mm-hmm. But we got Anderson Silva coming in 34-10, and I believe he has does he have one no contest? He just might be 34-10. The used to be GOAT, they say, probably his last fight ever, facing Uriah Hall 15-9. What you think about this, Brady?
Yeah, Anderson Silva. It's crazy to think, like 45 years old, he's still going, and it's just been a letdown, as of late with Anderson Silva, battling a lot of leg injuries as well. We saw him, break his leg, his last time out. Coming back here, 1-4 in his last 5 fights. You could argue he's like 0-5 in his last 5 fights. Went to a very close fight with Derek Brunson that was very close. That a lot of people thought Brunson won that fight. And in this fight, I think it's a pretty clear Uriah Hall pick here for me. It's just how much Uriah Hall do I want on DraftKings? Honestly, I'm probably going to fade Anderson Silva or play very little, and for a couple of reasons. For one, he hasn't had a finish in years. For two, very, very low volume, extremely low volume. And also it's going to gain ownership with that name, Anderson Silva. A lot of people are going to gravitate towards him. Not many underdogs on the card. People are going to plug in Anderson Silva. And I like Hall. It's just when people fight Anderson Silva, I don't know what it is. Like they get kind of starstruck and they kind of, sit back like Israel Adesanya did. I'm kind of worried Hall does that for 25 minutes, doesn't try to finish him. I think if Hall wanted to, he can come out there and finish Silva, no problem. But it's just, is he going to play it safe? And at that point, I don't know if it would be enough to get in the optimal lineup. But the cool thing here is you have 25 minutes to work with, 25 minutes worth of significant strikes for Hall. Does he get a finish? Maybe. Could he pay off his price tag with 25 minutes of striking? Maybe. I'm going to have a decent amount of Hall. I'm not going to go all in or anything. I'm going to have a decent amount of lineups without the main event. And interestingly enough, like the main event last week with Khabib, Khabib wasn't on the optimal lineup with that second round submission, which is pretty crazy. But here 8,600 for Hall. I think it's fine. I'm going to have a little bit over 50%. As for Silva, I'll have like 5-10%. I really don't want much. I really find it hard to see Anderson Silva winning this fight. And probably I like Hall as like a parlay piece as well.
Very nice. Yeah, I can't say anything that you did not say. Just like my man Wesley said, very well spoken, my friend. I think Hall's going to win as well. So kind of last thing I was going to pick your brain about. We done went through the card. Can you give us just a couple of your core plays? What are a couple of your solid core plays this week on the slate?
Yeah, so my favorite play, on the whole entire slate is Adrian Yanez. Hopefully he's low owned. Not many people know this guy making his UFC debut. This guy, he's legit. He really is. His opponent, he's being brought in here to get Yanez a win on his record, probably a highlight finish as well. Yanez he's legit. So he's a core play of mine. Uriah Hall at 8,600. I'm going to have a solid amount of ownership on him. And other than that, I think Kevin Holland at 8,200 has a lot of value. Typically, we see him priced a little bit higher as of late. And like I said, the last time Holland was 8,200, he went out there, got a first-round knockout, broke the slate at low ownership. Other than that, As an underdog, I like Kevin Natividad. I think he can win a decision, possibly get a finish. We have seen Miles Johns knocked out before. So those are some of the guys I'm looking at. Cole Williams as an underdog. There's not many underdogs as a whole, though. Thiago Moises as a pump play. But yeah, this week it's going to be kind of hard to make lineups, but I think there's a lot of mid-range plays to kind of help it out a little bit.
Very nice, very nice. Well, yeah, guys, that's UFC Vegas 12 Hall versus Silva DraftKings edition. So hope you enjoyed it. Before we go, a couple more bills to pay. If you're trying to get a tricep like that, you know what I'm saying? You go bulksupplements.com, use code PUBSPORTS, save yourself 10%. Also, builtbars.com. You're trying to get that on the go Built Bar. What you like to hike, you throw something in your backpack, in your pocket. You're on the go meal. BuiltBar.com. Use code PUBSPORTS. So Brady, one more time, why don't you let them know what you got going and where they can find you, man?
Yeah, first of all, thank you all for hanging out tonight. Going to be doing the show every week, trying to build it up, spread the word around. It's going to be a very good show. We're going to keep it going. This was the first one, and I felt like it went really good. You guys can check me out on my channel, DFS by the Numbers. I do other content. My prediction video should be out sometime tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to be doing a betting breakdown on Saturday, live stream on Friday. Lots of good stuff going over there. Once again, thank you all for hanging out. We had 50 people in the chat. Not bad for our first show. Let's keep it going.
I know it just jumped up to 56 right when we were ending it. So, super, as Miles Johnson just said, super well done, Brady. That's exactly what he was saying. This is the pilot episode. We didn't even talk about the format. Guys, we came in here. I had some graphics. He brought the brain, and we just freestyled. So it's going to get better each and every show. And we appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking with us. There's still 55 people. So y'all guys, spam those like buttons. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Kind of the rundown on the shows. We go Monday nights, Monday Night Football. Tuesday nights, it's going to be DFS by the Numbers and Mo breaking down the DraftKings card. And also you catch Razor on the Ponies. Wednesday, you got Millie Mills' show. What's the name of it? I got a lot of shit going in my head right now. Seconds Out. Boom. I'm a fucking genius, boy. Seconds Out. I believe that's 9 p.m. Eastern. That's a banger as well. Thursday, we got Thursday Night Football. Woo. Get ready. Friday, we got the Talking Hands UFC Vegas 12 prediction show. So y'all guys make sure you come. Go watch Brady on his show, on his channel. That leads into ours. So you get a double dose of some UFC Vegas 12. For Brady, this is your boy Mo. Follow us. Follow PSR for life. Shout out Jeff Slaughterhouse, Big P, Nicky Nick, Billy Briz, Big Zoe, Mr. Arkansas. Don't want to leave anybody out. Skywalker DFS. Am I leaving anybody out, Brady?
I think you got them, most of them.
There you go. There you go. Guru. Shout out Prediction Guru. If I left you out, my bad. Peace.